Going live.
Ah,
I'm looking at my own stream right now, waiting for it to. Well, is anything happening? Hello. Now I see it. Test, test. 1, 2, 2 seconds. I think
ah,
that's fair. So, well, basically, I wanted to show you this old pile of technology.
Are our voices heard on the stream? Hello?
Hello? I can hear you.
I,
Lou? I can hear you.
But one time you didn't have our voices on the stream, on
Oh yeah,
the
let's check.
video.
Can
So
I say something, please?
I say
hello.
something, try to see if it works.
Yeah,
I see the
I
view
can hear
meter
us.
moving in OBS. I think it's sending it to YouTube.
Hooray!
Very good. So, this is the thing. That's the Atari ST. Uh,
I'm not seeing anything. Should I open YouTube link or
yeah, you should. I would recommend you go on the YouTube link and on Discord you can basically mute your audio but not your microphone.
mic? Yeah. Um, it seems like if I mute the audio, it also mutes my mic.
You could probably just do it in the system settings.
Okay, okay.
I'll try to remind you to turn it back on after the session.
Yeah.
So, uh, just so you know what kind of thing this is, it's this one. Um, so it's a computer from 1985. It's one of these computers that well it wasn't a quite a home computer like the well what we now just call a computer like the IBM compatibles, but in principle it was a full fully working computer, but they had kind of a standardized configuration, so they feel like they're kind of in between computers and consoles. So as you can see, it's from 1985, which puts it about on par with the NES. We'll see that it's a bit more powerful, but from a gaming perspective, yeah, the games are effectively a lot like early to mid NES games. Maybe a little bit complicated sometimes, but don't expect to see anything like
Perfect.
Zelda or something like that.
Yeah.
So its main competitor was the Commodore Amiga, if you've ever heard of that. That there's a little bit of a funny story there. Just so you have a little bit of an idea what it is. So this is the old Atari VCS, the Atari 800, I believe. The old thing with one button and it has these things, these masterpieces such as Pong.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, so that's basically how they got started in the home market after making. I think they made arcade cabinets. So they had. Oh, it's here the 2600. There we go. So this old thing had
Yeah, yeah.
computer variants, but basically the ST is a version after, so it's effectively comparable to the 7800 if anyone's ever seen that. And afterwards they basically just tried to go exclusively console and died. Um, so the main competitor to these old things would have probably been the Commodore VIC-20 or later on the C64. However, there's a bit of a funny story. This guy, he kind of looks like he should play a role in a mafia movie or something. That guy is called Jack Tramiel, or however you pronounce that. Funny thing is this: do you remember about the video game crash of the 80s? Thing is this: Here you see him with the Commodore Model 2032 or something like that. And here you see him. Well, it's a German magazine, but it says Atari Boss. That's a little bit of a funny switch. The thing is this: Atari actually went under in, I think, '82 or something like that. So the whole engineers that worked at Atari kind of went on the open market, floated around for a bit, and then joined Commodore. But the Commodore guys, led by this guy, I think he was the head engineer or something like that, they split off, did their own company, and in '83 or '84 or something like that, he actually bought the Atari name. So the funny thing is, in between these generations, the two companies completely swapped teams. So in a very funny way, the Atari machine is you could argue it's the successor of the C64, and the Amiga is actually the successor of these old things.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a funny thing. Oh, by the way, how to get more RAM for the Schneider CPC? That's the Amstrad CPC to you Brits. That's the one my dad had before,
Ah, right.
with the oblong diskettes and everything.
That guy is doing the Tenet secret handshake. So
Oh, here he is. You've seen that movie?
I love it. I love the Nolan stuff.
I've seen that movie with Dad sometime last summer. I really enjoyed it, but it was hard to understand. But once they started explaining all the stuff and showing it off, man, that felt very well thought through. Anyway, so yeah, as I said, that thing is from 1985, so it came out a little bit after the NES. It has a 16-bit system, so you can expect graphics on par with actually the SNES, I would say. You could plug in either a TV, in which case it would throw this resolution on your screen, which is, well, measured by the default, which would have been NTSC. A screen is effectively comparable to 640 by 480, but interlaced. So every half frames every second line. And video games very often ran on 320 by 240. That's, I think, the NES's resolution. This thing has the slightly odd resolution of going with 200 vertical at 70 hertz. It's a bit odd, but it has slightly stretched pixels. We'll see how it comes out in emulation. Or you plug this thing into a monitor and have these odd resolutions of 640 by 200 or 400. You wanted to say something?
Oh, I was gonna say it's a bit strange how the high resolution doesn't it only changes in one aspect.
Yeah, it has these two odd steps. I don't remember any programs that use this medium resolution, and it really looks squished.
Yeah.
If I try emulating that, you'll see that it looks very, very odd. So I don't know why they did it. Maybe they thought it was interesting for some text modes. Hard to say. So effectively, everything will either be low resolution and in color, or high resolution and in black and white. And I'll have to set basically. I probably just have to switch an emulation back and forth depending on what the game needs. This is what the thing looks like. I think this is the one my dad had. So not this exact picture, but this model. A 1040, meaning we have a whole megabyte of RAM in there. There's a whole bunch of... Oh.
Can barely imagine having 1 megabyte of RAM these days.
That's really not a lot. Well, for back then, it was a lot. the I think the lowest spec you could get was a 520, so a half a meg of RAM, and the later models could get up to 4. And as was the fashion
Yeah.
back then, this is an all-in-one system. So the entire computer is, well, effectively it's in here, below this stylish cheese grater-ish air intake. Here's a floppy drive. These fancy lozenge-shaped F keys. There were quite a lot of weird accessories. You could have modems. You could have one-on-one multiplayer gaming via modem by direct calling. You'd have this little Y cable that goes into your phone, into your telephone plug, and into your computer. You call the other player, put the phone on the side, let the connection run on, and have the computer send out information over the telephone. It's amazing. Oh, whoops. Printer, hard disk, second floppy drive, TV and monitor plugins, left and right audio, nice tactile flippy switch for power, a reset button.
I thought TV connection was that SCART, like with three
I
wires.
I'm not quite sure. I think this might have been the American standard.
Oh,
It could be that you, well, I was a little kid. I don't remember that much. Might have been that this was a SCART cable for us. Interesting. You have MIDI in and out. This computer was used well into the 2000s for music applications. Just because it has
Okay.
built-in MIDI and in and out. If you know what MIDI is, it's basically sheet music for computers.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
exactly. So the device has a set of samples saved, and you basically just give out instructions like play a guitar note F sharp for 3 seconds, and the thing would just modulate its one guitar sample to that frequency. So MIDI was this tiny.
That's
synthesizer.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So you could really go and for example, if you look on YouTube for something like Monkey's Island and on played on different devices, it's all the same sheet music effectively, but different synthesizers really sound different, as if you gave the same sheet music to different orchestras. It's very interesting. Um,
Yeah.
I just don't want to show it off because I would have to prepare audio and just have you listen to it. That's boring. Funny thing, somewhere under here is a little hole to get to your mouse and joystick ports.
I thought you were going to say your mom. But thank you.
I will not comment on access to your mom. But yeah, the cables just stick out on the corner on this little slot, and a floppy drive. Loading a game usually takes about a minute. I hope the emulator has a skip ahead function, but whenever you put in a game, you would basically be treated to a minute of this thing going duck 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 duck, and there were like 2 or 3 favorite games. I could recognize them by the loading sound.
Oh,
If we ever get to those, I'll tell you. So just so you know how
Oh,
it looks graphically, yeah,
so the loading sounds they made unique ones for the games, or was
yeah.
it just coincidental?
Basically, the tok 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 was basically moving to different sectors on the disk, and the prrr was when it is just scanning along. So depending on which sector on which disk it moves to, you have different sound patterns. You could really hear how when it moves and when it loads and for how long.
Okay.
So that's basically how things like these floppy music makers, they have these floppy drives that just make music by their sounds. Basically, these guys are just sending loads of load and move instructions to the disks. to their disk drives
Yeah.
and use that as as a sound generation. Graphics wise, so as I said, it's about on par with the SNES, and so is its competitor, the Amiga. The Amiga was slightly more advanced and I think it had more channels for audio. So there were games specifically for Amiga that were looking a bit better and sounding a bit better, but usually the games that came out on both had Atari graphics, and on Amiga they had basically shitty extra music.
Ag.
In a way, it reminds me of the rivalry between PlayStation and Xbox nowadays. It's almost the same thing. It doesn't really make a difference. You buy either one and you'll be happy. So,
Or, well, unhappy that you didn't spend the money on a PC, I guess.
I suppose. Oh, PCs were kind of shit back then. We're talking about the mid
Uh,
80s.
right. Yeah, I guess back then it was,
Yeah. PCs
yeah.
were a lot better in the office, but for gaming they were kind of shit. At least in my opinion. Not that they didn't have good games, but their graphics and all that sort of thing, they weren't really that developed. So here's a selection of this is Defender of the Crown. This is Robocod. This is a famous platforming game.
Yeah.
This is a cutscene. This is the time when we started having cutscenes. This is a cutscene from Defender of the Crown. It's this is one of the games I will show off whenever we get that far in the alphabet, because it's an interesting one. This is a cinemaware game. I have a lot to talk about this, but
I
as you
swear
can
I've seen this before. The right
you
one.
might, you might. It's kind of famous and far widespread, so to speak. So as you can see, Amiga, Apple IIgs, Atari ST, virtually identical. The palette is a little bit more dark here. They managed to put in 3 shades of blue.
Yeah.
So the colors are a little softer, but effectively. So here's the previous generation. Well, not quite. This is the Commodore 64, previous generation. As you can see, this system tended to be a little brownish. That's the
Yeah.
typical C64 look. It looks a little bit like it has seen the washing machine a bit too often.
It's kind of, it's also slightly, like, green on, like, the orange
Yeah,
parts.
it's kind of greenish, brownish, darkish, washed out. I don't think its palette was particularly pleasing, but it is an important machine.
It's realistic.
Don't come at me with that. Nowadays they would totally try to sell it like this. That's the same thing they pulled 10 years ago.
I think Commodore 64 was most common computer in or like game system in Finland, but I've never played one.
It probably was. It was very, very, very popular over here too. But well, in the previous generation. So this thing is, I think, 5 years older. Uh, the old dad machine, Amstrad CPC, nicer colors, but a bit less detail. And this is DOS in EGA mode, which, to my knowledge, would actually be comparable to these 3 from an generational standpoint. But you can see the computers were effectively one console generation behind.
Yeah.
And just for fun, this is what the game looked on NES. Even more simplistic. DOS in CGA mode.
Most
Oof.
beautiful. I love that one.
I mean, it does look a little bit like one of these medieval tapestries, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has a very interesting look.
Yeah, so their color palette was very limited. They had just 8 different colors. Now, they had 2 sets of 8 different colors, which are basically red, green, yellow, or cyan, magenta, and something else. So they really had just primary colors or secondary colors in 2 shades. It was very limited. And just for fun, Mac went in a different direction. They had black and white, but they had much higher resolution.
It looks like they changed banner as well. In the,
Yeah,
they changed action.
exactly. So I'm not really an expert on medieval English heraldry, but yeah, they have this three lions banner on here, and they have a single line, but with a bit more detail on here. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm not sure why they changed that. That's it's a bit odd because it's not like the color couldn't handle it.
In hindsight, I wonder if maybe the guys who selected the screenshot played a different faction.
Yeah,
It
that
might be.
yeah.
I'm not sure if when we play this game, we can just try out if this banner changes between who you select as your player character. The game is about I think it's about the Robin Hood area, and 4 or 5 lords are trying to reunite England.
Okay. Yeah, because I can recognize the symbology is fairly common
Mhm.
place in England, like the kind of like
Yeah, these
lion on 2 legs.
exactly. Like this is the pretty one, and this one on 3 legs with just one paw raised also occasionally happens. Oh, hey, that's your bro.
So he knows.
Oh, he knows. Of course, he knows. He read the no. He played the game. He played the game for I don't know 1,500 hours. I'm just making fun. You wanna come
Yeah.
in? You wanna come in and well, if you have the time and if you're interested. Um, Price point. Just so you know what's going on. You know that consoles cost something like a few $100. This thing, well, the base model, costs $800. I think
Well,
the model I showed off would be 1,000. And here's the hammer: IBM PC-AT. So the current model of IBM PC compatibles, 4,500. This will be in an office. This is the thing you play with at home. And oh, whoopsie. And just for comparison, direct competition, the Amiga, about twice the price. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is slightly more technically advanced, but this is a lot cheaper. I think popularity-wise, they ended up about on par. I think. And
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah.
uh,
Sorry, I
sure.
skipped back. If you look at the resolution there, if you look NES version down there, it looks like Finnish Kota Farm.
Oh, really?
The Finnish Kota Farm has lion, even though we don't have lions.
I mean, neither does England.
Yeah.
So fair enough.
Well,
If they get lions, you
not that
get
we
lions.
know of.
I don't see this as a problem. Um, so this is the default equipment for this computer. You get one of the first mice I know of. Um, it's functional. It's very 80s. It's not as comfortable as modern mice, and I don't just mean in the sense that it is a bit of a boxy, squeaky thing.
You gotta have Minecraft hands for that.
Evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
I would recommend looking at the stream and just turning down sound.
Yeah, I
output
have
of,
it up and muted.
Perfect. You'll have 2 seconds of delay, but so you just talk over me and I'll stop.
That's fine. I'm so tired right now. I might not talk too much.
Just
Oh.
let the impressions lull you in.
Yeah, that's all right.
So this mouse, using it feels kind of choppy, like it has terrible dead zones and that sort of thing. I'm not sure if it's just that bad in emulation, or if it really was that bad back then. But I remember having to clean this thing all the damn time. It was a ball.
Is it does it have a tracking ball?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
it would get dirty all the time. You really had them for you young guys out there. Mice used to have balls in them. So the basic function is like this. It looks a little bit like a big pen. So you have this pen where you touch the paper and a ball rolls over the paper and dispenses ink. It's that in reverse. You have this mouse. It has four little glidey feet, and in the middle there's a ball held in by. in the middle the ball is held in with a ring. And
Yeah,
it just
I
hangs
remember from
through.
school.
It hangs through and touches the table. And when you move the mouse over the table, the ball rolls and it touches two little scroll wheels inside. And these register X and Y movement just by the ball transmitting the rolling onto the little wheels. But of course, the thing picks up dust all the damn time. So every once in a while, you'd have to turn it around, remove the ring, take out the ball, and scrape caked on dust from the little wheels.
I've never had to like clean it before. We had those mice in our schools for like primary and secondary. But I used to fiddle with them all the time. I used to take the ball out, but I didn't realize that you had to actually like clean the interior.
If you don't, the ball starts slipping over the mat of caked on dust and hair and everything. So the responsiveness just goes way down. Of course, in schools, the primary prank is to steal mice balls. And just take them with you or hide them.
I mean, they were like
throw them.
really unique marbles, you know.
Yeah.
Just like I don't
Slightly
even
rubberized.
I guess plastic, but
Yeah, they're like plastic balls with this rubber coating, so they really grip on to the little detector wheels. And this is a common joystick of the area. Now, you see that it has two buttons on it. The technical standard for controllers back then had exactly four inputs: up, down, left, right, and button press. So to steal a phrase from some YouTuber guy, it doesn't matter how many physical buttons there are on the controller. You get one button, and that's your lot. Which means controls are often very awkward. You often have jump mapped to up. You sometimes have different controls mapped to short or long press. Sometimes you have the keyboard for all kinds of secondary stuff, and this is just the action button. And every game is different. Of course, every game is different.
So
We don't
it's
have
just like
standards.
console ports today. If you play console ports on keyboard, you know this. You have to press button for a long time or something.
Kind of, yeah. So here are a few other common controllers of the area. Of the era, not area. So this is a fancy one. Again, four buttons. They all do the same thing, but the knob is micro switched. So cheap controllers or cheap joysticks. They're called joysticks. Cheap joysticks just have metal leaf contact. So there's a bent piece of metal. The stick pushes it in and it makes contact. The nice ones have micro switches, which are these clicky parts. They last a lot longer, and you have a definite contact point. But the other ones are cheap. This is the one Dad had, but I'm not sure what his opinion on it was. But I broke it. I used to drop controllers all the time. You would hold this in your left hand. Your your pointing and your middle finger would go under the thing and just hold these two buttons. And with your right hand, you could hold the stick. So very often, you would actually you do movement with your right hand and button pressing with your left hand. And of course, this is the thing from the Atari 2600 that defined the standard. That's the old, and I think it's still compatible.
Minimalistic, perfect.
Yeah, I think it's still compatible with the Atari ST. And funny enough, this plug, which looks effectively like this, it's a little nine pin thing. It was used up until the Sega Mega Master System, I think, or even the Genesis. So you could theoretically, if you're lucky, plug in a Sega Genesis controller into one of these computers and have it work.
The USB of the day.
Kind of, yeah. Very popular plug. So the closest thing I have, I use this thing to replicate it. I bought a. You might hear it clicking right now.
Yeah.
I have one of these fight sticks, but I bought custom components that have micro switches everywhere. One thing I'll do is I will map up, not just to up, but also to another button, just in case up is jump. Because using up to jump is cursed as fuck.
Yeah, that doesn't sound comfortable. I feel like you'd be jumping by accident all the time.
That reminds me, I'm sure there's some fighting game I used to play where up was jump.
Isn't up to jump most of them?
Yeah,
Might be. I only played a few of them.
I think it tends to be the ones that have the more complex, like fighting system requiring more button usage that tend to have up still mapped to jump. I know that some of the simpler ones will have one of the controller buttons will be jump instead.
Yeah, so I remember the default for fighting games is basically up to jump. So let's have yes, I want audio, and let's go for the Steam emulator. No relation.
Only played Pokemon Red where up is north.
So I've not used this in a long time. I'm not sure if I've used this one or even a different one. Oh, this is I have 12 to start.
It's got weird name.
We're booting into the main system.
We're hacking in.
I mean, yes. You can't see anything, can you?
It's just white. So
Blank
far.
screen, I can see your mouse.
This is kind of shit. Let's go for just directly looking at my screen. This one. Yeah. You'll have my taskbar. You'll live. And I want to record audio of this one. Audio output, yes, please.
I'm a purist. I can't stand this.
So, I want I want to record audio of a specific program, which would be this one. Anwendungsaudioaufnahme, yeah. I'll use Windows of the same program, yes. And I want Steam 64 DVD. Yes. This
You
is the
accidentally booted
desktop.
up DDLC Plus.
This is do you see this mouse choppiness? The acceleration is insane. I'm making the tiniest movement and I'm flying across the screen. Oh god.
Great. You gotta turn your DPI down.
I'll try to do it in emulator. Machine. I want a 1 meg device. Yes. I've loaded the version 1.62 of the of this operating system on. The operating system, funnily enough, it was on a little ROM chip. So if you wanted the newer version, you would either buy a new chip and solder it in yourself, or take your thing to a shop and have it swapped. That's how you do Windows updates back in the day.
That's crazy.
So I want the correct aspect ratio, which should. This full screen. This is how it looks. Very good. So I'll go full screen as soon as I load a game. For now it's squished. I'll just show off the OS in a few seconds. I'll just finish up my all the settings, keyboard, mouse, low level. Yeah. I want to.
I can throw in a nice trivia fact.
Oh, very nice.
We saw IBM company earlier
Mhm.
in the PowerPoint. That's where they get the name for the computer in the movie 2001 Space Odyssey. They
Oh,
have the
really?
movie. They have the AI called HAL. So if you move every letter back one
Oh,
space, it's IBM.
That's pretty
right.
funny, actually. How did I
Our
say
Like,
that?
IBM was like a big computer company, like Microsoft is today. It's like synonymous with.
They're still going,
Computers.
believe it or not. Our,
Yeah.
our Uncle Dave works for IBM.
Yeah, my dad works at the Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, there's a little problem. I probably have to look for Joy to key. Oh wait, there's something here. Up, down, left, right control. Okay, that's fine. Current just one. What? How can I be sure it's this one? Any button on joystick? I think I just have one. Well, we'll just see how it goes. My plan to remap up to the second button is kind of screwed at the moment, but we'll be fine. It's more authentic that way.
I think remapping like custom controller binds is one of my most hated things to ever have to do.
Yeah,
Like having to do that, even through Steam, which has a pretty friendly interface, it's painful.
understandable. So, do I have a shortcut for going in full screen? Yeah. What was that?
It's usually F11, isn't it? On
In
but then
this
I don't
case,
know.
it switches between mouse capture. That's
Oh,
F11.
okay.
F12
Interesting.
does reboot the computer, apparently.
Oh,
Hmm.
those are funny
This
little
is,
short.
this is slightly odd. I think I've crashed it. Oh, it's not running. Yeah, I disabled. I put it on pause effectively. Start up. Only one. Blah 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 blah. This is annoying. Frame skipper, friend out mode. Log aspect. Ah, stretch, please. That. Ew. 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 Ah, this is a lot. This is,
Oh, we were like
this is
entering the
better.
Matrix for a second there.
Oh, come on, you stupid thing. There we go. This is effectively what the thing looked like back then. So, to me, these
Nice.
always looked like a smiley face. These are the two floppies. And you have both floppy disks, even if you only have one physical floppy drive plugged in. Of course, it says no floppies put in, so let's just abort. We have desktop information. Look, it's animated. As far as I know, TOS stands for the operating system. Very creative.
Or terms of service these days. That's usually what you see it stand for, isn't it?
Yeah. You have such advanced features as show little icons or show a list of text strings, just as in Windows. Sort by name, date of last change, file size, and file type. And you have this is the system settings menu.
That's everything.
So I don't know what this does. I think this prints a screenshot to your printer. This is if you want to use the bank switching device. And you have system settings. The system settings are: do you want to be prompted on deleting a file, copying a file, overwriting a file, and switch resolutions. This is medium resolutions. It's rebooting, as far as I know. Ah,
Oh, nice B.
yeah. The B is the little sand here. The
That's
thing you
nice.
turn around. Sun clock?
Yeah, the hourglass.
Hourglass, of course. Our word basically means sand clock. Yeah,
Mm.
hourglass. This is the medium resolution. It looks like shit.
That's pretty crunched. Yeah.
And that's basically because it's locked to reinterpreting the interlaced mode of TV into progressive. If I plug in a virtual monitor, we can instead switch between medium and high. Video. I want to a monochrome monitor, and then we get well, come on. This is the high resolution mode. Do you have this insane moire
Whoa.
pattern on there?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a transmission artifact. It's just basically alternating dots, simulating gray. Almost.
Okay.
So that's not supposed to be there.
No. That's a YouTube compression thing or screen recording thing. I don't know. I suppose it's because I have this screen in 4K and it's resizing to 1080p.
It can't handle the strength of the.
So most games will be in color, of course, and using the low resolution mode. So by default, I'm going with this one. And I have a whole lot of discs ready. So there are a lot of games. This is a ROM full set, but the full set thing, there's a lot of stuff in here, and holy crap, that looks pretty terrible actually.
It's a lot.
There's a lot of stuff, but I can't really say how complete this is. You know how sometimes they are missing games released in certain territories, or maybe not have unreleased games. It's even worse with these games, because sometimes people would really just sell their own self-made games at their workplace or in magazines and stuff. So huge publisher games should be complete, but who knows if we got all the smaller games. And just so you know, usually you wouldn't get a game on a single disc. The way they usually redistribute it, well, like that. This is, by the way, a booter disk. The system restarted, it skips the desktop and boots into its own little system.
Right.
This is what's called an automation disk. It's released by the group Automation. They kind of put two games on one disk because they had enough space.
This font at the bottom makes me think of a modern game called Last Call BBS. I think you would love it.
Last Call BBS is kind of simulating that era.
Exactly.
So, I think in America the BBS thing was rather popular. In Europe, you'd swap discs on the playground.
Yeah.
Or in conventions. And usually you'd have funky music, you'd have a game selection screen, and on the bottom the hacker groups greet each other. But because this is kind of we have two options. We can go through these automation disks and just discover what's on there, or we could go through the alphabetical list. And I'll just pick whatever I think is interesting, what I remember. What would be more interesting to you guys?
Up to you.
I mean, yeah, but I don't even know how many of these I would have seen, because it's,
I'm probably not going to have seen any of them. So either way's like interesting to me.
I think I'll go through the alphabetical list and just pick a few out that I vaguely remember.
That sounds good.
1943. That should ring a bell.
I was alive back then.
It's one of those old vertical scrolling shooter games. Oh, by the way, this is what a folder looks like.
Oh,
Fancy, isn't it?
very very easy to navigate. I like that resize tool.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just grab any border. You have to grab this little resize thingy.
I'll be
Well-
honest, I think I might actually prefer that to the way that you do it these days. I find that it's too easy to accidentally grip the edge of a window and just like resize it comically.
By the way, this is a text listing mode. Looks a lot like DOS.
Mm.
This closes the window. Have you noticed that? When I open this, it moves this little ghost box here and opens it. And when I press close, it just packs it back up in there. Did you see it move? It's
Do
very
it again?
faint.
Animation, yeah.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. Does that and I assume where the floppy disk A and floppy disk B is, you can't move them around on the desktop necessarily.
I can. I think they stick to a grid, but I can.
So does that animation change based off of the
That's right.
location of the folder?
It does. It moves to the icon. Look
Oh,
at that.
That's
Good.
Isn't that
That's
fancy?
good. Why can't we have things like that these days?
So they had some aspects of basic design down back then.
That was probably someone's that's like their magnum opus right
Yeah,
there. That's
probably.
I added that little flair. That was all me.
One thing I can show off, my dad used to do a home budgeting program. He wrote it from scratch by himself in Omicron Basic.
Wow.
And it was this fancy little thing. Well, nowadays you would just make an Excel sheet and customize it.
So this is almost like a Excel sheet filled out with like multiplication and all stuff
Yeah,
like
just
that.
basically predefined. And it had things like add a new transaction, and it would show like a little card, and you can put in what did you pay for? Is it coming in or going out? How much does it cost? And then you'd have like a total or a list of recent purchases, that sort of thing. That was Dad's magnum opus. Mom hated it.
How
Because
did
he
you-
made her use it because he wanted his toy to have use, and she didn't want to have to do budgeting. They always argued about that.
oh,
This is like he knows how to use it because he made it, but I imagine it's more hassle than it's worth for other people to
Absolutely.
use it.
Well, they never had any bad arguments about it. Not that I know of. Just like, you're making me use your stupid toy again. That doesn't change how much money we have in our wallet. I just try to save as much as I can. Stop bothering me.
Meanwhile, please, it's cool.
Exactly, just like that.
I made it for you.
And he made it for himself, actually. So this is to my knowledge, more rare type of game. It's basically just an executable. TOS or BAT are common extensions for that. Most games are booter disks, so you put them in, restart the machine, and it directly loads into the game, and the game is also the operating system. So it's
And by
skipping the
disk,
BIOS.
you don't mean like CD, it's a floppy disk.
Yeah, you can boot from a floppy disk. So booter games were the norm back then, also for PCs. So only smaller games that, you basically have the system in RAM, and you don't need it for games. So, but you would have to do your own keyboard drivers and everything. So it's more work, but you have more system memory. So let's try
Yeah.
1943 for a moment.
So that means that the game could be bigger feasibly if you had more memory
Effectively,
available.
yes.
Right.
Ah, we have a crack joke, because I know that music, it's from the Garfield platformer game.
Oh, the YouTube is copywriting it.
Yeah. So these are all cracked. And you see it here. Reeds on the bottom, a cool animation on top. Space. Oh, we are loading in real time. I'll try to change that. Huh. How can I do automatic load ahead? That should be available somewhere. I'll make a mission on mouse click. Yes, please. Start up. No. Machine general. I think there should be an option to skip the loading times.
Yeah. So you're trying to get it to like preload the whole game, basically.
Well, basically just to fast forward the machine while loading.
Right.
Well, there should be an option for that, but oh well, I can always just use this little button. Joystick control only. Press that is what a menu looks like. So first of all, they put in their own logo at the bottom, and a few, so we can switch things like that. So that's a common thing. It's a vertical shooter. I have a little plane I can move. I can go pew pew, and I have a smart bomb. The smart bomb is on space because I only have one button.
Right.
So let's see if I can play it. No, I can't.
Oh.
Why not? Am I clicked?
Oh, the background is so beautiful. It's like
Oh, that's nice.
Mega Man.
It's as bad in person, actually. I can only go left and right, and I cannot shoot. My mouse shoots.
No.
My mouse shoots, but it doesn't move. Okay, the controls are completely garbled. But you can see what kind of game it is. This is rather primitive, actually.
Yeah. It's like Luftrausers these days.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Oh, I remember that one. You know
That's
what?
like a modern interpretation almost. I guess,
Yeah.
but like probably
Yeah.
quite mechanically different.
Oh yeah, big time.
You know what
Probably
I'll do? I'll go for Joy to Key. I'll go for Joy to Key and just do I have Joy to Key on my computer? No, probably not. Why would I? Joy to Key. Download the latest official version. Yes, please. Download. So I've basically just quickly mapped these to and scroll lock on and num lock off. Let's just keep them like this. I've basically just quickly mapped them to the numpad keys, and I'll have my my controller press the virtual keyboard keys. Joy to key setup. Yeah, whatever. Yes. I don't care, do it. Thank you. Exactly. So, I want this map to numpad 4, numpad 6, numpad 8, and numpad 2. And I think I put the fire button. No, I want to use this button. That is actually kind of nice. I can press a button. No. Clear. I can press a button and see which button it physically is. X, Y. Yeah, I want these two buttons for fire button and
Oh
this
yeah, I
as
like
a
that.
makeshift jump button.
I wish other controller remappers had that like little yellow flashy bit.
That is pretty useful. So 1943. Well, it's 1943. You know what it is. I get a ship at the end. So to fight, not to fly. Oh, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This is a
Oh,
point
yeah.
and click adventure game.
Whoa, wow, a point and click back then. That's crazy.
Big. Oh, let me just quickly go back. Again,
Dad's quite a big fan of the book
Did-
that the author wrote.
did a little nice touch. The Cracking Group made a little script that renames the floppy drives to themselves, and I think the name for the trash is a rival group. They just renamed it
Nice.
just for fun.
Just
And they
dumping
resized the
on it,
window and moved it to exactly the exe file, the executable. So I wouldn't have to look for it. We get nice music while loading. Oh, it's a crack turn again. Yeah, I don't care. Keep going. So you can see this is which side of the disk is accessed. Which track and sector, I think. So there's two sides to the magnetic disk. It's organized in rings and like pizza wedges. So you have coordinates on where to on the disk it accesses. Oh, and these disks hold a total of 720 kilobytes. So they are smaller than the ones we know from Windows. Funny story. You can distinguish them by the diskettes used to have this little slider where you can set copy protection, and the Windows ones had a window on the opposite corner that indicated they are double density. And my dad looks at the two diskettes, like the computer's already broken. It's been trashed for 20 years. It's dead. It's broken. So my dad had all these leftover disks, and he looked at it. There's this little window. And he takes a drill and just drills a hole there and puts it in a Windows PC, and suddenly the disk is recognized as a 1.44 megabyte disk. He just had to reformat it.
Right.
But the thing is, you could technically do that, but the magnetic coating on the disk was not high enough quality for that. So you could just do that and just quickly transfer files between disks. But if he brought home files from work, sometimes they would corrupt just within a few hours.
oh,
But they were good enough to just transfer stuff between computers in the office. So he took this whole bunch of disks, put them on a table drill, and just drilled through all of them at once. And he said, well, it's better than throwing them out.
managed to find another use for them. That's good.
Look at that. We have a little bit of a French newspaper.
Oh, nice.
And we set sail. Isn't that nice?
Oh yeah, I like
I've
that
seen
little
this
animation.
game. I've seen this game before.
You've seen it?
Well, it's effectively the Jules Verne book, but as a point-and-click adventure.
Oh.
Boom. And surprise, we're already on a submarine.
Oh, nice. I like that teleport action.
Yeah, they're on the Nautilus. Yeah, they mentioned.
Can we get the Scottish accent for these characters?
Hey mate, how did we end up under the sea this far?
What's this, Professor? I imagined this as the as the little kid from the Professor Layton game. What's this, Professor?
Watch
And-
this, Professor.
And it's the depth measurement thingy. There's
Oh, a barometer. Love that.
I suppose. Well, they use the old term manometer.
Oh, my man. Yeah. That was when it was well, obviously, yeah, that was when it was leagues rather than
Exactly.
Oh no, that when it was fathoms.
Fish.
Oh, nice. That's an angelfish, isn't it?
Fine.
Is that
Yeah.
an angelfish?
I don't know
I think
shit
so.
about fish.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think it is. I might be wrong.
Looks like a angelfish. I googled it.
So it's a good fish. I'd give that fish 5 out of 5 stars. I don't know about this view out the window though. When you're just here, that looks a little bit funky.
I thought it was
Oh,
bugged
yeah.
out.
Yeah, it looks kind of terrible
Oh,
like this, huh? It looks so. This is a closed window, but it looks kind of like shit.
Oh, it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be metal, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just a closed port,
Yeah.
and I can do things like if I touch anything, the captain comes just in and throws me into the brig, and the game's over. Like if I try to change anything,
Yeah.
so I can move around, but so let's say I just grab one of these sticks, boom, and I'm under arrest and poof.
Who allowed you to stay? You stay in your cabin.
Yeah.
They should put that in more games. What's that? You tried to do something directly out of exactly what we wanted you to do as the player? You're in the brig.
Exactly. So I don't so I technically know how to play this game because it's a point and click adventure, but I have no fucking idea what to do. But it looks nice for the time.
Yeah, they're very very creative with limited like what they're limited to with the art style. It's quite nice.
Yep. They got a lot of out of the little system, didn't they? So as a game, this is I'm completely helpless here.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't hold your hand, does it?
Even the characters are what a nuisance.
Yeah.
Even they are annoyed.
I just imagine that you're there, just like your hands are out. You're just slapping everything. Like you're just putting your hand on the guys' faces. You're touching the telescope, and they're just like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Pretty much, apparently.
I couldn't find the YouTube video, but I swear there's like a video that explains that you can start this game in a way that you can't win it. Like it's unbeatable.
That would be typical for the area. The Adventures of Robin Hood. Let's have a look at that. I don't remember that, but it sounds interesting.
That sounds like it should have been a
Oh, it's
popular
by
game.
Elite. That's one of the famous publishers. There's Elite, there's Ocean, there's Rainbow Arts. There's a few more. I might recognize them when I see
Hudson?
them.
Hey, no limits cracks. Robin Hood.
Let me just do a thing. Steam emulator auto speed up while loading.
We playing in Italian, boys.
Absolutely. Click on the wrench icon in the okay. Select general. Automatic fast forward and disk access. I don't have that.
They didn't include pigeon.
Mine does not
English.
have that option. That looks like my thing. A bind of
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
Where's the
blah.
language option for pirate?
Oh, I
only-
just have a
Oh, yeah.
terribly old version of the emulator, I guess.
Ah, it's one of the yeah.
Well,
That's the trouble
it's
with
not old, actually.
things like that, where it's like one of those types of programs that doesn't have an updater built into it.
Disk operation. Well, we'll make do for today, and I'll look for a different version some other time. Well, let's play in English. I would originally play in German because back then the translations were actually not bad. But oh, this is copy protection. Please type word 2 from paragraph 3, page 15 of the manual. Bollocks.
Oh yeah, I remember that copy protection.
So
where it was like you need the game manual, otherwise you can't play.
yeah, usually the elegant way to remove this copy protection is to skip the screen, and the easy way is just to make every answer correct. So basically, if you put in something wrong, it also goes through to follow the correct option.
Right. That's
Oh,
because
it's
of
the movie!
because of the crack, right?
Yeah. Look, I think that's supposed to be Kevin Costner. I recognize
Yeah,
the
that is.
music.
Is that where that's not an original pixel art piece, is it? They've taken a picture and they've.
I think that's
pixelized it.
effectively a digitized little picture.
Yeah.
Oh,
The same with this as well. This is like a
this
shot of
background.
Right?
Oh, it might be either way. Oh, I have no idea how this. Oh.
Oh, this is good
one of
English right
those
now.
games.
It's a
It's
beautiful
beautiful.
day, my Lee.
Oi, oi.
An excellent idea. Come install your needed.
Oh, you sound exactly like a Stronghold NPC. Oh,
I love
this.
how your emulator is in a window and then the game is in a small grid and like
Yeah.
it's getting smaller and smaller.
I expected this game to be much more fun immediately. That's
Your wallpaper as well kind of looks. It looks like you've got like a
it matches,
kind of
doesn't it?
photorealistic
Yeah.
version.
It matches. Well, it's just the default Windows 11 changing desktop, but that's fun. It matches. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Africa Core. Oh well, that's we don't talk about the war. Afterburner is the Sega flying game. Blah 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 blah. I'm just scrolling. Alf. Do you remember Alf, the alien?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember the game
The
though.
name rings.
I don't know that I ever actually watched the film.
I loved this as a kid. Alien Syndrome. I remember that. It's basically a rip-off of the Alien movies, but as a shooter.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how interestingly a shooter controls.
It's a famous arcade game, so this is a port, I assume.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Ah, The Replicants. Funny, we had Blade Runners just 2 games earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they like their super cool names.
Yeah.
This
A
was
few
like
of them are still
style.
around, like Fairlight and Reloaded and everything.
They had the slightly tamer names, I suppose.
Mm.
And somehow managed to stick around. Oh, I like that picture. That looks like
it's stuck in-
that looks
stuck.
like Junji Ito or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Do you hear the sound?
Am I
That's the
hearing-
soundtrack, isn't it? So,
Oh yeah. If I unmute the stream,
I
that's cool.
well, I had to press F1. That is a kind of a normal thing to just have to press random keys like F1 or enter on the numpad or something like that. So I want one player, and I think it. So yeah, port 1. I have port 0 mouse and port 1 joystick. So I hope it should work immediately. So there's 4 stages. Oh, and it's loading. In real life, you'd hear the toc 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 toc. Oh, yeah, that's the game.
Yeah.
I have. It's a little hectic.
Oh yeah. Okay, getting attacked by balls.
And as is common for the area, one hit and I'm dead.
Oh yeah. 3 lives though, so they're a little bit generous at the very least.
Oh, and we have slowdown already. So I remember
Wait,
being,
does slow you down as well?
yeah, it actually makes the game easier. Oh,
It's like
another
bullet
option, though.
time. What does the comrade mean at the bottom? That's what I'm curious.
I just have to save the rest of the crew. So it's basically taking the idea from Alien, where the aliens would have the people in the walls.
Wait, this is kind of like a weird Pac-Man shooter then.
Slightly.
Because you're essentially going around the map.
Yeah, except I just have to collect a few people instead of all the dots.
Yeah.
So the flamethrower is rather powerful, but oh, I have auto fire. Nice. Let's pick fireball.
There's a PlayStation 2 remake of this game.
Is there?
I'm not surprised.
Apparently. I would love to see it.
That's cool.
So this is one of the more popular arcade games of the time. This is actually a decent port. So it's slightly worse graphically, but it seems to be feature complete and almost as pretty as the arcade game. This is not bad. Let's just try to beat the first stage because I want to show off what the bosses look like.
I like that the map lingers for a little bit after you touch the map button, and then you can see your little player icon moving around it. That's quite nice.
Yeah, that's...
I would have thought they would have just done like a little snapshot of the map, because they didn't need to put your player icon on it, really, I suppose.
Not necessarily, but they did.
Nice that they did. Yeah.
And I died. And I appreciate that they did. See, I just lost a life and I just got back out. That's how we do it.
Oh yeah. Wait, did you have 3 or 4 lives?
I got an extra life somewhere in between.
Ah, you got a 1-up, right.
It is a bit of a hard game. The arcade game is even harder, I think.
I mean, I guess the idea back then was that games had to be really hard, because otherwise your playtime on them would be minuscule.
They want to put in your quarter and leave.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you beat the game, you're less likely to play it again, aren't you? You'd want to coming back trying to be a...
Go to the exit, which should be on the top edge of the map, if I remember correctly.
This is the Dark Souls of Atari games.
Oh, that you haven't seen the Dark Souls of computer games yet. There's something even harder. There we go. Look at this guy. Isn't he cute? And by cute, I mean butt ugly.
Oh, nice.
And he's in the box art. I was googling the game.
It's an interesting design they went for.
I'm pretty sure I can't beat
He's
him
the
before
mask.
the time limit. I already lost effectively.
He kind of reminds me of someone from work.
Oh, this is what you do for work.
Yeah,
But
he's
you know, that's the kind of shit that comes out at night in Britain.
You're not wrong.
Come out of the
I beat
council
him!
estate. The council estate's
And
elite.
he comes
Yay.
blasting me at the end. And I go down at the station. What an ending. Oh, by the way, lives or not, if the time runs out, I'm dead.
Oh, you did, but so your lives don't matter if you run out of time.
Absolutely. As at least I think that's how it is.
Your mission has failed. You have died in vain.
Yeah, absolutely. Alien world,
We
Alpha.
told you about some of the weird people we get wandering outside when we're working.
Yeah, that's funny.
Alpha Max. That does ring a bell, but I don't remember anything. Oh wait, no. I think I'm thinking of Terra Max. Oh well, let's just look at it anyway. What is Alpha Max? Oh, it's probably just dime a dozen shooter. Yeah. Oh, this is primitive. Oh, this is. Yeah, I don't think we need to bother with this.
I was trying to Google some cute trivia about the game, and the first result is list of all Atari ST games.
Yeah, it's. I don't think there's much to remember about this one. Arcade Fruit. Oh, I have it under A because I already also have the French version here. But I'll have to show this off when we get to the English version. Arch the Captain Blood. If you've ever heard of Captain Blood, I would be surprised. But
Never heard of them.
it is a freaky ass game. Here's a cool thing. You ever heard of a little game called Arkanoid?
Uh,
Oh, it
I
crashed.
do recognize that name.
yeah. Ring the bell.
It's Sci-Fi Breakout. And I have 3 versions here because one of them just crashed for no good reason.
I love it when that happens.
So, this is one. Well, I don't know this one. My dad had Arkanoid 2, which I'll just throw in a few seconds. But at least Arkanoid 2 was one of the more decent parts of the game because, well, you had mouse control. If you've ever played the NES version of Arkanoid, it's shit. Mostly because your paddle is too fast to be accurate, but too slow to catch the ball if it's going off the other side. And since Arkanoid is famous for having little mobile enemies on the screen that throw your ball in a random direction, well,
Yeah.
So, Mr. Arkanoid, are you going to play? Hello. Or do you want me to skip right to? Oh, there has this idiotic sci-fi story. You're kind of some kind of space refugee attacked by a weird dimensional fortress, and its attack manifests as. Huh. Okay. I can't do anything. Well, let's just skip immediately to Arkanoid 2. And this dimensional attack manifests as blocks you have to break with your little brick thingy.
Of course.
Of course. As you do.
It's always the blocks.
Oh, we do want the story. That is... Again. So I'll just let it load in real time.
Wait,
story is-
this isn't the first Arkanoid, this is the sequel.
Well,
The
but the
revenge of-
story
No.
didn't change much. I just want you to see what stories looked like back then. Just so you
Yeah.
get a feeling. Oh, look, they neatly wrote everything in consecutive sectors, so this would be a very smooth loading sound. It would basically just go all the time. Very clean. Very clean. And yeah, it literally just loads in the entire disk into RAM.
Yeah. Zorg is always a good spatial thing.
Yeah. So it just throws names around. Revenge of Dope. Yeah, we just shoot a hole in the enemy spaceship and enter it, and we fight it by playing Breakout.
I
Oh, nice.
noticed that
Peggle.
had something to do with the company Taito,
Yep,
who I imagine managed the arcade machines.
exactly. Imagine is just the guys who ported it and published it for this system.
Yeah, because they're very well known for like rhythm games, stuff like that.
Ah,
Oh, interesting.
So I'm pretty sure Groove Coaster has something to do with Taito.
Right.
I think there are other ones in Japan that Taito is like involved with in some way.
yeah, exactly. Taito is well, I think this was their most famous IP back then, if you could call this an IP. There's a modern Arkanoid game. It released 2 years ago or so. If you're interested, I could just throw it in for 15 minutes or so.
Sure.
But this is probably, including the modern one, the best Arcanine game I've ever played, except for the mouse being a bit Atari choppy. There, I don't have to find much more. But it has good sound effects. You saw that the level had its own little name, and they all end in oid, because it's Arkanoid.
Mm.
And that I'm not picking that one up because it reduces my paddle size. I remember it from way back when.
Yeah.
So this is the best Arkanoid game I know of, but it is not the best Breakout game. Maybe we'll get to Bolo today, or maybe I should just I just should pick Bolo out of the trash pile right now, because
Sure.
that is the Breakout game I remember. Let's just quickly. Oh, and I can choose between two.
I was
different
going to
levels.
say, taito is just Finnish word for skill.
It is
Yeah, you have lots of taito.
interesting. I assumed it would be something in Japanese.
It probably is that too.
Probably. Well, Atari was just made by is a company founded by Americans. It means something in Go, like putting someone in check, but the Go version. But they just picked it because it sounded cool. The company.
I also heard. I think. Which company was that? Like, one company picked name just because it was alphabetically first. like-
Acme.
Acme, yeah.
So, do I have Bolo somewhere in here?
Isn't Acme the company that was it
The
one that they always
Coyote.
have it like the Roadrunner?
Yeah, it is, but as far as I know, it was just a kind of in-joke that back then lots of companies were named Acme just to get to the top of the phone book. And it means something like peak or apex. So high quality, effectively. Bolo, Application Systems Heidelberg. This is a local game. Well, German game. This is how you make a breakout game. And this is one of the games I would recognize the loading sounds. I totally would. This is a dad favorite, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, it's in high res. You saw the screen switch just now. And it's in
Ooh.
black and white. 1987 by Meinolf Schneider.
Strong name.
Strong name. Let's switch to English, just to be
Any
diplomatic.
relation to Schneider family from cinema, like Rob Schneider?
Oh, this
Oh,
is
yeah,
the-
Rob
this is-
Schneider.
This is one of the most common names ever. It just means tailor.
Ah,
So, like 5% of all people are named something like this. So probably not. Oh, fun fact. This is before our zip code switch. You see down there D6900. I don't remember the time when we still had 4-number zip codes. We switched to 5 numbers a little before I was born.
Right.
There are 50 levels to go to beat the Mega Goals. This is how you make a breakout game. Wait, this isn't high resolution. It looks like shit. Let me switch the screen. We are going to plug in a monochrome and reboot. A monochrome monitor. Yes, and there we go. This is how it's supposed to look.
Does this one also feature Zorg?
no, it only features the Mega Ghost, who may or may not be Zorg. But this is, in my opinion, to this day, the best breakout game ever made. And I'll show
Yeah.
you why. Here's my ball and here's my pedal. Do you see this?
I do.
I can move wherever I want.
Oh,
Oh.
And I don't have this thing where my impact point on the pedal determines my ball angle. It's friction based. If
Oh,
I
interesting.
do like this, I can move it to the right. I can go slower and faster. And if I can't touch the ball directly, scraping one of the four walls will impact it.
oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Side.
interesting.
This is the most tactical and most complex breakout game I've ever seen. With the exception of the final boss, which is basically just chaos and random status effects. This is much more of a puzzle game. So you can just go like this and play it at high speed and basically go full nuts, but then you start panic rolling and then you lose.
Yeah.
So yeah, just smashing the ball at high speed is basically the counterpart of panic rolling. And no need to just look at this. I can play this closely to the bricks and just clear levels at high speed if I want to. No need to do these weird trick shots where it gets stuck above the brick wall. I can, if I want to, I could just smash the ball against. Ah, shit! I caught it. But I could just smash the ball against the bricks like this. Ah. Well, that was just for show. Let's be a little more careful. I'm not going to play through the entire game right now. The
Can
final.
you just like push the ball around, like if you go very slowly?
I think it slightly flies off whenever I touch it. I can't quite push. Ah, look, a level with gravity. If you look in the lower lower left area of the screen, you see 10 pounds, sunny weather. So there are 3 types of weather or something that mean something like how slippery my pedal will be. And point multiplicator 1. So these things, these little propeller things, they attack my pedal. If they touch my pedal, I die.
Okay.
So they don't attack my
Okay.
ball, they attack me.
It's interesting that you're having to think about the ball and the actual like kind of location of your paddle at the same time.
Yeah. So in this level, for example, you want to get the ball stuck bouncing between the bricks, and then you just concentrate on dodging. Boing. And a little high ball. And slow down. See,
I'm so invested, like sincerely.
So, you see how I just put spin on the ball? So here, if I'm just very careful... Ah, I messed up. I was going to smash it into the column,
Yeah.
push upwards, but maybe I can still do that. Oh, it kind of flung away. But ah!
Oh wow, I went crazy at the end.
See this?
That's cool. I like the gravity effect. That's nice.
Yeah. So that's how you would ordinarily clear this column. Then slow down here. It is a bit slippery, so I think just back then we were all used to having this slightly very fiddly mouse, and I'm just not used to it anymore. So I'm I had a lot more control about this way back when. I could beat this game very regularly.
Was this Is this? Do you know who made this one? Is this made by the same people? Or-
As Arkanoid? No.
Yeah.
No,
I-
this is to my knowledge a locally semi-famous bedroom programmer. This application systems Heidelberg. They made a few games, and I think this guy was a student at the University of Heidelberg.
Okay.
So this is basically a self-published game. I think it's just that
Yeah.
good, so it turns up in even ROM full sets. Yeah, that's a tactical way to play. I'm just very gently positioning it to go ping pong between the roof and the tiles, and as soon as it's cleared out that column, scrape up and stop scraping, and just let it do its thing.
Is it possible, do you think, to do like some kind of challenge run where you only control the ball by using the edges? So you never try not to like touch it? Or do you think that's
I don't think so because of the levels that have gravity.
Mm.
This is
yeah.
not strong enough to overcome gravity. Even the lowest kind. So I think some levels you could try and finagle it so the ball always bounces on bricks, but like here you could probably do it, but it would be very much too much work.
Yeah.
Hold still. I can just close the hole by just staying here. And as you can see up there, there's a 10-pound brick. So breaking that will introduce gravity.
Oh, nice. So you can kind of like
There we go.
modify the level as you're going. Really.
Yeah, that's effectively this game's version of power-ups.
Mm.
Later on, we'll see some more cool tricks. Like there are bricks that can only be broken not by the ball but by the paddle. And I think one of the levels is the ball has gravity. It's bouncing on a stack of brick. Ah, that was shit. That was a nasty trick. It's bouncing on a stack of bricks, and you're in a maze made of paddle bricks, and you have to break out before the ball drops.
Oh yeah.
So now I'm just trying to basically calm the ball down and regain control of my life.
Yeah, so I'm in kind of hyper mode right now.
Slow down. Settle down, Beavis. There we go. And the final boss is, well, he's cool, but just graphically cool. Haha. Here I can just break out if I want to. And the ball will almost endlessly bounce on this little thing. If I do it right, I can raise it a little bit. And have the gameplay itself. For the most part.
Like a pro Peggle player.
Yep. That being said, I'm shit at Peggle.
I don't think I'm very good at these types of games either, to be honest.
So yeah, this is this game. Let's just see how far I can get, because this is actually rather fun at the moment.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm so invested.
So much. Oh, look at that. We have paddle bricks. We have these little poison bricks. The ball can kill them, but if I touch them with my paddle, I die.
Oh.
So I
So you have to like carefully clear.
yeah, I want to carefully clear enough of them so that I can move on the bottom. Although, yeah, you know what? I could just keep the paddle bricks for now and just play reverse breakout from the top. Oh, by the way, did you notice the ball got a little bit bigger, I think?
Yeah, I think it did. I think it was quite small before.
Ah,
Is that because of the gravity power up?
I wonder, because I do know that there are separate ball size power-ups later on.
Hmm.
Maybe it just kind of reset my ball to default size when I picked it up? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Ah, look at that. Indestructible skulls. This is more like a classic breakout level then.
is the score impacted by the time that it takes to
No.
clear a level, or is it just purely how many? Like,
It's fixed
Is
score
it
per
that?
brick.
okay.
So the only thing that can change, so there are still a quite a few possible different high scores, because there are two versions of each level, and the game picks randomly between them. Sometimes it's just easy and hard. So I think the easy version of this level has the blockade bricks non-toxic, so I can just push up against a hole and close it entirely.
Yeah.
And yeah, each brick just has a fixed point value, and over time, if you beat the game with the same seed, so to speak, you will always get exactly the same. Oh, that's a maze, and down there is a nasty little thing. It sends me a level back, which means technically the score isn't fixed. I can farm this level as much as I want if I wanted to. Huh. Interesting. I didn't think of that. But yeah, that was that maze level I was talking about earlier. I just half remembered it right. I think there's a version of it with the paddle bricks where I have to actually physically break out.
Yeah.
I'm AFK for a second. I'll be back soon.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Let's try again. Oh look, it sent me to a different version. Ha ha ha.
Oh yeah.
So these are the two alternative versions of that level. I think there are always two, but maybe more. I'm not sure actually. Huh.
Yeah.
Also, something's wrong with this copy. Do you see these little remnants of the bricks? The one
Yeah, in
we
the
had
middle.
back then didn't have that.
Yeah, that's slightly strange.
I think this was one of the few games my dad had an original copy of. Like, actually bought it
Oh wow.
because it was so good.
Yeah, we I don't think our dad ever had this kind of era stuff.
That didn't
and
really do games, to be honest.
I think that was mainly because he would have been in the RAF.
Yeah.
Well, it was like super sports, and then joined the RAF, and then
See how
Did
slippery
play-
my paddle is now? I mean, you can kind of see it. It feels terrible to me.
it looks like it has
Yeah.
like insane amounts of input lag.
Yeah, it effectively, yes. It just has like negative mouse acceleration or something, so it accelerates too slowly and has some slowdown time. instead of instantly stopping.
Yeah.
It's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
And now it's getting reduced because I'm picking up the little... It's snowflakes and the sun. The sun for no and for none of that effect, and the snowflakes for increasing strength of slipperiness.
Mm.
So now I just
Yeah.
reset the danger. I can easily clean up the level. I've learned nothing from Dark Souls. It's not just limited to Dark Souls. It happens to me everywhere. That's a little problem. If I crunch the ball against something, it might just get flung off.
Yeah, kind of. It like jerks the physics around a bit.
Oh crap! Now I have a little problem. One of these two special bricks is a level skip,
Oh.
and one of them quits the game,
Oh.
and I don't remember
Oh,
which
that's
one's
great.
which.
That's a real nice like gag brick to have, I guess.
Yeah. I think exit is the nice one. So this level is tempting you to farm lots of points, but if you hit the quit, it kills you. So let's just not fall for the bait and go straight for the exit. And I guessed right. Oh, these are acceleration blocks. No matter what direction the ball is going in when it touches it. Come on. Pew.
By the way, you played Baba Is You. How was it?
Oh, well, I do know the game already. I had it on Switch, so it's not a big surprise for me. But I beat it. I beat it years ago, like mostly beat it. It was a lot of fun. We could actually, in effect, play it together just by suggesting solutions. It's just that it's just me who puts them in.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun, and it's the kind of game that just makes you talk about weird things on the side. So that's actually a good suggestion.
I thought you already played that one.
Well, we just played the first world.
Ah,
We're not done yet.
I think the developer is Finnish.
I think
Hempeli.
so too. Look at that. That's a ball. Oh, and the stupid arrows just fling it everywhere. Oh, and by the way, this ball is also more massive. Did you see that? It just pushed my
Yeah, it's
paddle
way
around.
bigger.
Bonk.
Yeah.
It literally pushed me around.
It's quite impressive that they had like that amount of sort of, I guess, like physics back then.
Yep, and as far as I know, this game was made by one guy. This is
It's always the solo project that
this is a
so more
proper
impressive.
bedroom programmer thing,
Mm.
which just makes it even more impressive. So
It's like the
Yes.
Peggle. It's like the dwarf fortress Peggle, I guess.
in a way, yes. But yeah, this is one of my childhood games. This is retro gaming for me. Let's see how far I get. You know what? Let's just open these up before we even start playing.
I wonder if the physics are actually as deep as in the Dwarf Fortress. Like, there's like actual rubble physics or something here.
There are bricks here that can get damaged and their parts fly off, and if they hit the pedal, they destroy it. And they have actual proper breaking off animations. You'll see. So we do have a little bit of well, it's not as deep as Dwarf Fortress, of course. It's just a little thing, but it is sometimes surprisingly realistic.
You know, a game that me and Dan enjoyed playing a very long time ago. I don't know if you guys have ever played it. It's called Lego Rock Raiders.
Oh, I love Lego
game.
Rock Raiders.
That game is
Never heard.
amazing. The only trouble is it's really, really hard to get a hold of these days.
There's an open source remake.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
I found it last summer.
Because
I
I
have
tried
to look
looking
into
into it
that.
before, and everything online was saying that you're gonna have a really hard time, and like you have to like run it in like 10 different types of compatibility mode and stuff like that.
Lego
But yeah, if
Rock
there's an
Raiders
easier way to,
remake.
because
It's
that's
this
pretty
one,
great.
Manic Miners.
That's
There
nice.
you go. That's
Oh, it's
Lego Rock
literally the
Raiders with
first-
Windows installer.
When did that?
So cool.
Last year
That
or maybe
game-
2 years ago. It's not very old.
I might have to
Oh,
get a
yeah, I
hold
know
of that.
that game.
I might have to get a hold of that. That game is one of the best games ever. Full stop.
This, I mean, I played it, and as an adult, I can say it's a lot more easy than it was back then.
That game was
Yeah.
like pure suffering for me as a child.
It's
So.
much more simple than it was back then. This is a nice puzzle level. I just open up one of the sides of the cup, and then I'll just physically block the exit, and I'll just wait here and let the ball do its thing.
Did any of you used to collect Bionicle?
I didn't collect Bionicle, but I collected predecessors. Sliders. Slicers?
Oh yeah.
Slicers.
I did have a couple of the original Bionicles.
God, we
Yeah.
used to love Bionicle so much.
I still have almost every single set
Nice.
somewhere.
This is one of the harder levels just because a ball with gravity gets flung around by the arrow bricks.
Yeah.
And with the slightly wonky mouse, it's hard for me. But these multiple hit bricks are pretty pricey, so I will probably get as much extra lives out of this as I just wasted. So it's all good. I just need to slow the ball down and then drop it in here. Yes, there we go. And now we do the tactical and reasonable thing again by having it bounce around peacefully. I think it's an extra ball every 5,000 points.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, the paddle has weight too. See? That's not me.
Okay.
What's that, sorry?
Ah!
So you have to keep moving it. Basically.
Yeah, I have to keep moving it up. It just falls down.
Oh, I had a random thought as well. Have either of you played Spelunky?
Yes, and again, I'm terrible at it. I've maybe seen the first 3 areas.
Ah,
I think
Pretty good.
same.
I mean, that would be a thing we could play, but it is rather
Sorry.
hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
I'm probably terrible now.
Yeah, let's just
to be
say
able to beat.
keep playing Dark Souls. It's much easier.
Dark Souls is an easy game. Well established. Easy.
I wonder if I should go. Oh, there's an extra life in there. Well, I kind of want the ×4 multiplier. Before I
I
start
mean,
playing.
compared to like these older arcade style games, I do think the Souls games are a fair bit easier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Ultimately, Dark Souls games are pretty easy as far as like most games in general go. I feel, to be honest.
It's more a test of your consistency and patience.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of things that you can do in Souls games to kind of just exploit, like over leveling or
Yeah, you
you
can
know.
if you know what you're doing, you can mitigate a lot of it.
Mm.
I mean, Elden Ring is probably the best example of that. That's the most mainstream it's ever gotten, hasn't it?
Yeah,
If you
Yeah.
if you do it right, at least the PvE is rather easy.
yeah. Elden Ring kind of exploded in popularity compared to the other Souls games, but then it kind of retroactively made the others like insanely popular as well. So
Well, I like Dark Souls before it was popular.
Hmm.
No, I
that nice hipster.
I did honestly get into it when Dark Souls 1 just released on PC.
Yeah, like I missed Demon Souls, and then because we didn't have PlayStations, we had Xboxes.
Yeah, same.
I mean, I think I was like, I wasn't even that old when Dark Souls 1 came out. I think I was like 16, 15 or something like that. I think we just picked it up from like the local game shop on like a whim.
Oh, by the way, look at that. A magnet. And now that it's broken, the ball just flung off wherever.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because
yeah.
oh, sorry. I
Sorry.
was gonna say that was the time when Matt was really into a game called Two Worlds.
Oh, Two Worlds is amazing.
Isn't it basically vaguely comparable to like Oblivion and the sort? Ah, shit! I slipped.
It was marketed as a. It came out later than you'd ever think. It was marketed as a Skyrim killer, I think.
Really?
Dreadful.
It's a
But in a
fucking
funny way.
fantastic game. Dreadful should never even go anywhere near that game. That was the only game that my mum ever bought me, and it is cherished by my heart. I have an unreasonable amount of hours in that game.
It is janky as fuck, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I'd say it was like marketed as like an Elder Scrolls type killer, but it's so much more comparable to like Gothic or something like that.
Right.
It's very similar. I guess like the game's like gameplay structure and stuff like that is way more comparable to Gothic.
The main thing I remember is there's a really funny use there's a resurrection spell in the game in like I don't think it's the necromancy tree, but it
No, it's
acts-
wind magic.
It looked like Stefan was not doing anything last level.
This,
Mhm.
these blocks. There could be literally anything in there, including the game over block.
Yeah, what if it's like the exit game one?
Well, then I better quickly retreat and drag the ball away.
Is it? Do you know if they're random each time you do the level?
They are.
Or...
They are.
Oh, nice.
So you
This is not
genuinely
just-
never know.
There really could be anything in there.
So it could be that button that exits the game then.
And it. That's the level skip. I want the level skip.
Sorry, I interrupted the resurrection story.
Oh, yeah, nice. Okay. Basically, there's a spell in that game where you can resurrect any character, and you can just keep using it, and it's any character.
Yeah, so it's permanent, infinitely reusable, and it can be used on any humanoid entity. So this includes like the like orcs and skeletons and stuff like that.
Wow.
But the thing is they don't necessarily count as being on the player's team. They're not like your faction, essentially. They're just resurrected as a like quote unquote friendly NPC that you can't damage. It like vaguely counts as a summon, but also not really at the same time. And if there's no enemies anywhere nearby, the only thing that any of them will do is they'll take out a broom and they'll start sweeping the floor endlessly.
So it
So-
says the city in the game at one point that gets invaded by orcs, because orcs are like just evil in the game.
Quick info. This is a battle map. These things with the exclamation marks, they shatter into pieces and try to kill me. So I just have to dodge. Oh,
Yeah. Do they go through the
absolutely.
like?
Everything else would be
So they
boring,
just go
wouldn't it?
everything.
I have to keep this corridor closed and dodge if pieces fly at me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I might have to show you guys Two Worlds at some point.
Well, you could stream if you want to.
Yeah, I
Always
was
have to be
thinking
me.
of doing that. I'd have to
Oh,
it would probably be
stream.
convenient to do it on days that you don't, I suppose.
Or we could just
so-
switch. It's
Yeah.
I don't have a monopoly on this.
Yeah.
We could maybe have it in the schedule if we could have like more votes or something like that, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it
yeah.
after the next. Because I know that you and that other green probably had votes as well, Blue. I think.
Yeah, in hindsight, I did not do the voting very usefully. It's just kind of vaguely gauging interest, but I don't know if we could use it as is. So I keep asking about stuff effectively. I do.
Yeah.
I touched one of these little
Oh.
things. Oh, come on. I want to get the little balls out of the way first, so I can have that's a ball, isn't it? So now I can have this huge
nice.
ass ball clear everything for me.
Did you I assume you played the Gothic games, Stefan?
I've tried them, but they've been a bit too janky for me.
Oh no, I love it. What is it? Gothic 2, I think. It was either Gothic 2 or Gothic 3. I had a lot of fun in that.
I
was a
got
good game.
filtered by Morrowind and I got filtered by Gothic. Sorry.
Oh, fair. Well, Two Worlds is the same, if not more, level of jank
I mean, if
than Gothic.
if you really insist, I could try them on stream one day.
Yeah.
Whew. That
My
was
memory
panic
of-
rolling right there.
The only trouble with the Gothic games is my memory of them is absolutely poor. So I wouldn't be much help. So it would very much just be bumbling.
I suppose it's even more interesting that way. The rank has to be experienced raw.
Yeah, exactly.
So I distinctly remember them being schoolyard favorites, but I never got into them. They should have been right up my alley, but for some
Yeah,
reason,
those particular style of game that I don't know. I mean, it is an open world RPG, but it's linear in the sense that particular areas will just insta kill you. So you're like solidly discouraged from going to certain areas. But it is an open world RPG. It's just that it will give you a big slap if you try and go anywhere that it doesn't want you to.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, these are teleport blocks. They connect to a random one, not necessarily in pairs, and they break the one they leave.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
The stream froze for me for a second, and I thought maybe your computer crashed, but nope. Your ST is a better computer than mine.
Oh, ooh, ah, ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh. This is still a bit too high speed for me. Oh, and the ball can get stuck in loops here, but it's no problem because I can physically intervene with my paddle.
This is how to do it.
Eh?
Yeah, that was. We have our daily I'm halfway through already. Wow. Oh,
The whole game.
Yeah. So there are 100
Oh.
different levels, and I see half of them on a single playthrough
Wow.
because of the 2 versions of each level thing.
That's a really good way of giving it like a whole entire extra playthrough's worth of
Yeah.
replayability.
Yeah, I mean, I can directly ask for any level in the training mode except for the final boss. So I can,
Yeah.
if I want to. I can, if I want to, just play all the levels linearly, and that way you'll easily see that they are often just similar versions of each other. But you can't see the final boss that way. You have to actually play the game and beat it.
Hmm.
That's
I'm just gonna get a drink a sec. Oh, just
Yeah.
a sec.
Okay.
completely fumbled that one. That's what I wanted. There we go. Ugh. Yeah.
Oh, that's going crazy up there.
Yeah. Come on. Get back there, you stupid little. There we go. Ah, this magnet is dragging the ball over here. Oh, random gravity, by the way. Could be anything. Could be sideways, could be anything, really. Slipped off.
Up towards like the screen.
So, what do we have here in the mystery box? Oh, it's just another mystery brick. Yeah, it can have just another mystery brick in it.
You get that really poor RNG one day where you just keep opening the mystery and it's just another mystery.
I think the worst I've had was 2 in a row or something like that.
Wow.
Extra points, always good. Look at that! It's not twice in a row, but it happened twice in a single level. That's something. Oh, and we have sideways gravity. Wonderful. Specifically this corner. Which technically isn't all that bad, as long as I don't smash the ball too hard. It'll always come back. Although if I play at high speed and I hit another random brick, who knows where it'll go. Well, that's pretty shit. It's the bottom right corner. That ball is rather suicidal now. So I have to actually put in some speed. At least that clears after a death. Let's just pick up the double points so I can earn a few extra lives. And get it over with. So this is just... Ah, no. Bottom left corner.
Do those like make the gravity random as well?
Well, I think it's random in the sense that it picks something at when breaking the brick and then it keeps it. It doesn't keep changing.
Yeah.
And it seems to strongly favor weird directions. As in
Yeah,
this is, this seems to be low weight and bottom left corner again.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just carry the ball like this. You hold still, you little shit. Yeah, so some levels are just easy and good sources of points, and some just eat up your extra lives.
Wait, so did this level, does it have heavy gravity? Is it magnet? No, it's not magnetized to your thing.
No, it was really just that the random
It kept
weights
listing
put me
to the right.
wherever.
Yeah, so one of the pickups was it sets the gravity
Yeah.
to a certain direction.
Okay, right. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
They were the symbol was like this old-fashioned weight thingy, but with a question mark on it.
Yeah.
So that just randomizes the gravity direction, I guess. Right.
Look at this. I can, if I'm lucky, I'll teleport the ball in. Oh. Well, I'm not lucky. Okay.
Oh,
The
it
other
teleported out of
solution to
its
this
own
level
teleport.
The other solution to this level is juggle the ball. Well, I just used my death to quickly open up the floor. And smash it in there. And just hold still. Just hold it closed. Let the thing do its thing. And unless the ball loses all of its potential energy in the other tunnel, it'll never get anywhere. It's completely safe. And these bricks are rather expensive, so this is one of those point delivery systems.
Yeah.
One little jankiness this game has is if the ball hits the space like in between the corners of two bricks, sometimes the ball gets flung off wherever. So if I really strike in between two bricks, who knows where the ball will go? That's a little jank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it can't quite calculate the physics for like the
I suppose
inter-block intervals.
yeah, I suppose it just hits both blocks and does whatever.
Mm.
But it's rare enough. Ah, look, the ball is about to get stuck in that corridor. But I could just extract it like this.
So, what are like the pre-order bonuses in this game? And like,
Extra colors.
You have a battle pass.
yeah.
Yeah.
New blinking patterns on the paddle.
Mm.
Ball
Get a horse
skins.
armor skin.
Ball skins.
Alright, nice. I love ball skins.
That sounds so wrong when you repeat it. Ah, shit!
I think my cat is crying at my door. I'm just gonna let her.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, this level. After I beat the actual main part of the level, I'll have to park the ball somewhere. Very carefully slide in between the poison bricks and clear those three in the middle.
I'm back.
So how is Kitty?
She's good. She just at a certain time of the day, she always likes to sit on my blanket.
So
So she,
it's just cat time. She wants attention.
Mm.
yeah.
Otherwise, she'll do
Very
the
polite.
horrible wailing outside.
Her voice sounds very sheep-like in a way. It's got like this kind of I don't really know how to describe it, but her meows sound more like barring kind of
Yeah,
sound.
she got a bit of like a vibrato going on with her voice.
How odd. There we go. Ah, this is nice. If I play my cards right in this level, I can get the ball literally stuck. And the level plays itself from then on.
Oh, that's quite the large ball.
Although, I just screwed myself over. The random gravity got it locked in there and I can't go anywhere. So, boink.
Ah, that's why they have those there, I guess.
It's, depending on what the gravity brick does, it's either an instant win or a kill.
Yeah.
Oh, the gravity is still... Ah! The gravity is still going. Shit! Why is that? Oh, because there was another one on that half. Crap. Let's hope we have enough... I somehow have to get some friction on the ball. That's not enough. Come on. That might... So I want to drop it in the right side hole and hope it just does that. Oh, this is not a dodging level. Ah, and I smacked it in myself. Duh. Come on.
That's pretty good though. Only one left.
I'm just hiding off the side so it doesn't reach me. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? It's a free level. Let's move the ball over here. Get it down a little bit. And then when it goes in the canal, I'll just hold the door shut. Yeah. Ah. This should be a rather easy one, as long as I have the patience to get the ball. Yeah, so much for that. If the ball slips past me, I have to carefully overtake it in the canal without ramming the poison bricks on the side. But if I just hold still like this now, I could probably just ride this out.
Oh.
And saved. Well, mostly saved.
Nice.
It's all coming back to me. This is not a problem. The pedal is slightly less wide than 2 bricks, so I can kind of smash my way past the ball if I... Come on.
Oh no, it's really... Oh, never mind.
Ah, might have screwed myself up. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, it's really
Put
stuck.
enough pressure on the ball. I want to get it all the way up. Ah,
I'm
There we
AFK once again. BRB.
there we go. Ah,
Oh,
not
shit.
again. Not you, Blue. I mean the ball. Also, I don't think Kennedy ever said that specifically. I think that's their way of asking for programmers to join the emulator project.
Oh yeah.
Haha, and now I'll just hold the lid off. There we go. Magnet. Oh, by the way, only one magnet can be active at a time. As soon as that one dies, the ball gets pulled wherever.
Yeah.
There, it's switched, and I just have to save down here. So I guess my job is guarding the hole and then pushing the ball towards cleanup.
Yeah, and try and not get hit by those shurikens.
Right. But this level should mostly play itself, although I still have to keep watch. Ah. Ah! Oh well.
I assume they're shuriken.
I'm not sure what they are. I guess?
Some sort of windmill-looking knife.
Yeah. I mean, what looks like that and is dangerous? Oh, I guess shurikens. I'm not sure, actually. What else would they be, I guess?
Hmm.
Helicopter blades, maybe.
Possibly.
Oh yeah.
Then with the name, with the final boss being Mega Ghost, I kind of feel like Shuriken might be a little bit more fitting.
I suppose. Maybe we'll see the Mega Ghost. It's just 15 more levels. The levels
Yeah.
counter on the bottom is counting downwards.
Oh, with the D&D campaign that you were gonna run, you're a character in this one. You're not a DM.
I probably wouldn't. So I've had bad experiences with playing in my own campaign. I don't think that's right.
So you are the DM. this one.
In what in the game that didn't happen today? No, I'm a player. I'm a player.
Okay. If it's okay to if it's okay to ask,
Sure.
what kind of character are you?
Oh, I'm a cleric who pretends that he's a wizard.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, so you're pretending that your divine received powers are is your own intelligence, basically.
Not necessarily. The thing it's more like a comedy routine.
Right.
I can tell you because every character has like a plot line that's supposed to be a secret from the others, but you may know. I've just said for fun, how about my character? It's an owl, and there is an owl race, but I used the stats of the owls, but I said no, he's just an owl. He's secretly the familiar from a wizard character in my previous campaign, and well, that basically just signed him up for the Wizards Guild in Waterdeep. So his job is being a guild mage, but it just happens that he ended up as a priest, and now he has to keep up with being a guild mage.
Interesting.
Right.
And the other player characters caught on. Well, they can easily see what class I am. They don't know why I'm pretending to do this, but they enjoy playing along with this, and they also keep pretending I'm a wizard.
Yeah.
In our last session, we had we entered a hobgoblin fortress, and for some reason these guys were nice, but they're incredibly bureaucratic. So we had to get passports. And my character proudly stated job wizard. The others are all like, "Are you sure?"
Like, you might not want to lie on this.
Well, I had to because otherwise I might get into trouble in my actual life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that's the reason why this level gives 4 extra lives just as bricks. I still made a net
Yeah.
positive.
Do you have to how do you get around like casting and such? Because I imagine their spells don't really cross over.
There are a few spells that that cross over. The guild had me work occasionally for them as a guild mage. I always picked out the jobs that could as well be done by clerics. For example, 1 month I had to work effectively as a telephone operator, or like as a telegraph guy.
Yeah.
And sending can be cast by wizards and holy casters. So I could literally pass as a wizard.
Isn't I don't know if this is the same in current D&D, but isn't it the case that like wizards have like memory slots, right? And then
Yeah.
clerics just know everything. Like they don't have memory slots; they just know all their spells.
Right, they do, because there are different levels. Wizards have to prepare and learn their spells.
Right.
Divine casters know all the spells, or rather, their god knows all the spells already, but you still have to prepare selected ones. So a wizard would have to pay some type of fee to learn a new spell in general, and then it's possible to prepare that for the next day. And I just get the entire selection for free to prepare for the next day.
Okay.
And in 5e they already made wizards a little bit more easy on that front, because in the old editions it used to be like this. If you have say 5 level 3 slots, you specifically say, I prepare 3 fireballs and 2 lightning bolts. And now you can just say, I prepare lightning bolt and fireball for the day, and switch which is which. So as long as you have a spell prepared once, you can cast it from your list, which is effectively how Final Fantasy 1 worked.
Yeah. So they've streamlined the process
A
essentially.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back then you literally had to take specifically 3 fireballs with you. And the advantage of sorcerers was that they had already had a new system where they could just say, I have 5 spells and I take with me these spells and I can swap them.
Yeah, sorcerers are the charisma. Like
They are the
wizard, right?
charisma casters, and they
I guess they're like the trendy ones, right? They're the ones that, because everybody runs charisma stuff these days. That's like the big thing.
I'm still an old school wizard. I
Yeah, I think that's the best way to be. You'd be like the smart guy, like pushes glasses up nose. Actually, it's like this.
Considering I literally studied physics, this is probably the closest I can do in real life to becoming a wizard.
Yeah.
I studied astronomy as a specialty. I'm basically a divination wizard.
I think having a waifu also helps to become a wizard.
That too.
Yeah.
That too. That's the other definition of wizard. But yeah,
Don't go to America and start calling yourself like a wizard, though. You get in trouble.
I might actually. that might be slightly unpopular. Well, who knows where it goes? Maybe that becomes popular again.
Yeah, maybe. I think I would be a wizard if I ever did a. Because when have you played Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah, a little bit.
I played wizard on my first run through with Dan, and that was really good. I really enjoyed playing wizard.
Wizards are amazing.
It's about the closest we can do to a D&D campaign over here.
Well, good thing you have me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Just saying.
Not to drop the hint too hard.
I mean, I prefer playing, but if you're okay with running a slightly customized pre-made campaign, I'm in.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
fine.
Sure.
I'd be happy to do whatever. And,
Also, I do have a lot of third-party material, so it doesn't necessarily have to be one of the official ones.
Mm. Yeah,
We
that
should
sounds
play,
fine. That sounds fine to me.
what's that called? Everybody is John.
Everybody, what?
Have you heard about the role-playing game Everybody is John?
Oh, isn't that where you roleplay each as a voice in a weird guy's head,
Yes.
and you try to get him to do the weird schizo things?
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Although it sounds almost more like a party game,
It is.
which is its own kind of fun.
Yeah, that's more. I guess that's more of like a spontaneous
Yeah.
sort of thing, rather than like anything that like has planning, I suppose. And you probably just do it for like the one session, I would assume.
Also, it feels like the kind of thing that it reminds me of talking to a chatbot. Because that's also just trying to get the chatbot to acknowledge various weird things you have in your imagination.
And it's trying to like talk around you.
Yeah.
I always get that with chatbots. You like try and like stick to a subject, and it's just like, yeah, but why don't we talk about this instead?
It goes wherever it wants.
Yeah.
that's the struggle that Greens, the two other Greens, are probably going through a lot.
Yeah, but it seems to be working out rather well lately, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're pretty great at working that stuff, seemingly.
Mm.
I don't think I've ever... Normally when I hear people talking about like these character chatbot things, it's usually people complaining about them like being awkward and kind of going
Consistent
in
and-
weird ways.
Yeah, and not really understanding concepts you're trying to introduce.
Yeah.
I played around on the website like that. Funnily enough, it's called Janitor AI.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I guess they do it for free, but that one was pretty good actually. If you pick a scenario you like, the bot is actually rather good at understanding changes to that thing. So if you have like a sword fight and you say, "Oh, I do a fancy maneuver and disarm that guy," old chatbots would not get this and would just keep doing sword things. And here the thing understands, and basically, for example, it switched gears and tried to surrender.
Ah.
So at least within their predefined scenario, they were rather good.
I've never used one. I've only heard other people talk about them.
Well,
I've seen someone else use one. There was like a game that had it involved. It was some kind of like RPG story making game that used an AI chatbot, and that was quite funny.
Well,
They should just
effectively,
paint-
it's just text. It's just role playing with a text bot.
Yeah. They should just pay me to do it instead.
I mean, I totally
I'd
go
do a
for
good
it.
job of it.
I totally go for it. Although, getting paid full time for this, who's gonna pay?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
That would
Wow.
be rather expensive.
Me when I win the lottery.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah, that's a big copium statement right there.
Yeah.
When I win the lottery.
not if, when. As soon as.
Yeah. Don't you know there's 14 UK millionaires every time they do it? That's
What
the
was,
advertising
what was
they
the saying? It's like 100% of people quit right before their win.
use. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. We have another paddle maze. Crap. The ball is working its way toward a level back icon. Which would probably
So
not...
you have to try and get there first.
Oh yeah, this is where having the janky mouse controls
And now
is
I can just
stab
try
you in the
to
back.
whack the ball into the exit. Well, it wouldn't have been so bad. The last level had quite a few extra balls. So it wouldn't have been bad. It would have been a good investment. But still, I kind of want to get this done before you all fall asleep on me. Because it is getting rather late. I wonder if we should do anything after this. I think we're done for today, right?
Yeah, I'm about to go to bed.
Yeah, you. I should be too. So let's just.
I mean,
Yeah, it's even later for you guys.
Yeah, it is coming on 10 p.m. right now. Which is well, Blueberry. You have a late shift again?
9 a.m.
Ah,
So
then,
not that late, but not like super early.
Then let's try to finish quickly.
are you all still good for tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Without
Yes.
break? Cool. I know I have to help take the cats to the vets in the morning, but I don't think I have anything else happening. So
Yeah, that's the
should
early
all be
morning,
good.
so it's all good.
Yeah.
And they're usually well behaved.
So yeah, I'm working from home tomorrow. It's one of these talky days where we just have shitloads of meetings. So the worst thing that could happen is me being slightly late, but yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you know, we'll always be around from the usual time, so
Very good.
it's all good.
At some point, you might even hear one of the cats through Matt's mic.
I was hoping that you would hear them just then, but she's not meowing loud.
Not yet.
Oh,
Not yet.
she's going quiet.
She'll be she's at my feet right now meowing at me, and then I'll pick her up, put her next to the microphone, and she'll just stop meowing completely and just start wriggling like you wouldn't believe.
Well, she asked for attention. Now she has it.
Right, yeah, exactly. She wants that very specific type of attention that I'm just too tired to give. I've already ran her around the house for like half an hour. So
She's the gremlin one. She's like tight to all the others, but she's like never stops.
Ah.
Come up here. Give us a meow. Hey, give us a meow. Willow. You want a meow? No?
It's fine.
completely go. Oh, you stink! I tell you what. You stink.
Cat.
She got dewormer on the back of her neck, and it's honking. I tell you what.
Ugh.
No, it's honking. God, I just held her up like to my face. I was like, "What is that smell?" I just took a big whiff, and I'm like, "Whoa!"
So she's just got a face full of cat butt.
Yeah.
Ew.
Hey.
Well, the cat can't do anything about it. Still stinks though.
Yeah, you should see our other the biggest cat that we have, Trevor. He I feel like he should have been born as a dog instead, but he was unfortunately born as a cat.
With that sort of name, he should have been born as a Welshman, but whatever.
Yeah.
Ah, look at that! It's the Mega Ghost. He has a face and
nice.
everything. And the,
Oh, wow.
the thing about him is, every block has a random effect, and they fly off and try to hit me.
Oh, that makes it really hard to keep paddling the ball.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
that's what
Also-
passes for a boss.
Also, he's on an angle as well,
Yep, he's completely off grid.
which is interesting. I guess that's supposed to be like that's like the big thing is he's not part of the usual game
Yeah,
grid.
he's kind of possessing the game or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it only kind of works. You see, this brick is slightly damaged already. So
Why would
Yeah.
you show us
Oh, yeah.
this area?
the effect is slightly damaged. So I'm not quite sure how they did it, but how that one guy did it. But it only kind of works, and that's something that happened in the original copy as well. That's not a problem by this cracked version.
Yeah, I guess it's just like a weird little bit of artifacting on that particular. Well, actually, it's on a couple of them. Actually, they're kind of blending.
Yeah, I suppose the tiny angled blocks are interacting weirdly with the tile system.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm just pulling shit out of my fingers.
Hey, get off my desk, little cat.
Loves jumping up on my desk, don't you?
Now, usually this would eat extra lives like nothing, but for some reason it's rather calm at the moment.
You're just doing it perfectly first try. That's what it is.
Occasionally I have this spark of genius, I guess. No, I'm just lucky with the special effects.
Willow,
Maybe it's
can you
just...
get
Is it just all random gravity? I don't remember. Maybe it's really just every single of the a single brick of these is random gravity, and that's what makes the ball kind of wriggle through them.
Mm. Yeah, it might be just shooting it in every which direction any time it hits a block.
So usually the object of the game was to save up lives for this, but well.
Oh, I see why she wants so much. She's watching this game and she's trying to catch the ball on the screen. Is what's happening
Oh,
right
that's
now.
cute.
I was like, why is she jumping on my desk constantly? And she is like pressed her face up against my monitor right now.
Fascinating.
So if the cat gets the ball, you have to restart, right?
Yeah, it's instant. You'd lose a life. You just suddenly your life counter will tick down by one. You're like, well, what's just happened here?
The cat just runs off with the ball.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, that's the whole game. Well, half of it technically.
We did it.
Nice.
Yay.
First
Nice.
try on the final boss. That's skill right there.
Was that a speed run record?
I've played this game way too much.
And it has a bunch of pre-listed scores.
Although I think the crackers overrode these with their own little in-jokes.
Okay.
Hey, right, you need to get off my desk.
There's the score table. Extra roll for every 500 points. That is rather generous, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you had like so many lives by the end of that.
Yeah. I wanted to see the there is some kind of talky stuff in there. Info about Mega Max Modular 2. Wait, is this whole game a tech demo? Shit, it's... Oh god, it's an ad for his engine.
Development system.
We've been sucker.
Oh.
This is an ad.
It's an ad.
Oh, it really is an ad.
Oh crap, my whole life is crumbling. It's an ad.
But it's like, by the way, use my file compiling system.
Yeah.
That's a powerful statement right there, you know.
Final boss is the Raid Shadow Legends logo.
Oh wow.
Wait.
So I suppose we shouldn't Ah, if the ball sticks, just slam it. Suicide with F10.
Throw your ball. Oh, interesting. So you can actually. I wonder if that makes you lose a life.
Of course it
I'd
does.
assume it would. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it would be harsh like that. That makes sense. Oh, and it just goes very good. Just restarts again.
Yeah. I just threw them all out the window.
Interesting.
Oh, I should show you very shortly one more game, just because it's a game you can actually have a modern remake of. Another favorite.
Star
I'll
Wars.
be done in 5 minutes. I think it's called Esprit.
Oh, yeah.
French?
I don't know. It has very similar graphics, but in this game you're the ball. It's about
Oh,
tile
interesting.
matching.
It's just like real life. I am the ball.
Don't talk to me about that. I do need to lose weight. Oh, it's the same guy! I did not plan for this.
Ah,
And it has music. Yeah, it's the same guy.
Oh, interesting.
That's what it looks when it crashes. Little bomb symbols.
Oh yeah, my North
Well,
Shrine.
let's try one of the other versions. I have 3 of them. The Medway Boys.
Well, this guy really got around. I suppose he was a prevalent game.
This one's loading. Password or start at the beginning. I think this game is a ripoff, though, of something called Oxid.
Okay.
So I'm the ball with some friction, and it's like memory, at least in the beginning. It does get rather insane later on. These
So you have to-
items do something, but I'm not sure what.
So you have to activate the tiles, basically.
Yeah, you have to activate them in pairs. So
What does the movement feel like? Is it
very
mouse
slippery, very slippery.
Right. Okay.
There are. This is where the insanity slightly slips through. So we have circle, we have line, we have X, and we have this diamond shape, and that's it. Well, there are more tiles.
Oh,
down
right.
here.
It's a match game with timing in it as well.
Yeah, and later on there are puzzle elements in the levels, or things where you have to pay to get through, or pick up certain items that protect you from damage flaws and that sort of thing.
Wait, yeah. So there's hidden blocks in the corners as well.
Yeah, that's the joke about this level. Like, surprise! There's extra stuff.
Interesting. So you thought it's one of those, haha, you thought it was easy, but it
Yeah.
was actually.
And this one, for example, you see the different shading. It's supposed to be going down in the middle.
Yeah.
It's angled downwards. So I'm fighting against gravity while sliding against these blocks.
Okay.
ah.
So it's trying to force you to
Yeah, I'm
hit all the buttons on the bottom, essentially,
yeah
against
yeah.
your will, isn't it?
Exactly. I'm kind of always sliding towards the middle.
Yeah.
Now we get into real levels. It's a crack message. So if I remember correctly, this level has an extra pair hidden somewhere entirely different. Oh, maybe not. Huh.
Suspiciously easy.
Yeah. Oh, it's. This, hmm. I have terrible short-term memory for this sort of thing.
I feel like I used to be good at like match type games back in like maybe late primary, early secondary, but like these days, I mean, kind of puzzle games in general. If I'm being honest,
This
I'm not
is
very
one
good
of
at
the harder ones. Ice floor. I can drop this flag off as a respawn point, and these are flipper accelerators.
Okay.
So this is just a killer level.
Oh, it suddenly turns into pinball.
Yeah, and this game has a modern remake. Sit with a Y. Remake. Oh no, it's the same guy. It's not a ripoff. It's a sequel.
Okay.
Enigma, right? That's the open source remake.
Hmm.
So this one's playable. Wait, remake. Just out of curiosity. No. Oh, what is this? Olo 1995. I suppose that's supposed to be the ghost.
Oh yeah, that's Mega Ghost himself.
Although,
He's changed.
Oh, I like that guy.
I like the original tie set a lot more. I
Yeah,
guess
I
this
feel like
is-
they've tried to add a weird, like, cartoonish, like, appeal to it for some reason.
This seems to be a PC port by someone who thought he could do better.
Hmm.
Seen the remake for 1.5 seconds. I like the original better.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it plays amazingly well. I don't know. I can't rule that out, but just from the graphics standpoint, I definitely prefer the original.
I wonder whether those images are taken from actual, like, box art or something like that, like some kind of promotional art.
I wonder.
Because they don't look like, it doesn't look like something that someone has done retroactively. They have like that. And maybe I'm misinterpreting it, but they don't look like kind of modern style drawings.
Yeah, it's really weird. Oh look, it made it into a magazine. They wanted £20 for this, and it only got 64%. Well, it's not that bad.
£20 back then as well. That's probably like, you know,
That
quadruple or something.
that is a bit. That's a fat load of shit, actually.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's.
I remember when things used to be 5 pence under rather than 1 pence under, and that was what was considered a deal. You get things that were priced at like
Right.
something 95. Mind you, I just remember being able to buy things with like actual hard currency, like coins and such. But you can't really do that these days. They're not really worth that much.
Well, I keep doing that, actually.
Everything here, the prices have gone up because of inflation. Everything's gone up just enough that like a pound coin doesn't do anything for you anymore, really. Like everything's over a pound that used to be under.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
I mean, milk, eggs, the usual. It's.
Yeah.
Oof.
But England is just in love with electronic, payment methods and stuff. So
Yeah, it's getting more prevalent over here, but still, with the default, as long as you're going to a store in person, of course, is still cash. So
Yeah.
you'd have to specify I want to pay by card instead of saying I want to pay by cash.
oh no, you'd have to like specify the opposite almost. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I expected from what you said, but
And everything is it's mostly like a terminal now. It's not a person anymore. It's all like self checkouts or like it's
The funniest part about that is though is that 9 times out of 10 you still need a person to come and like press a code.
yeah.
So you may as well just have a person doing it.
Look at
Yeah.
that. That's a text editor.
I see nothing.
Oh,
Yeah, we got
right,
Mike's-
because I
yeah.
turned off the. Sorry. Well, forget it. I would say, but I think that's enough for a day. You probably want to get ready for work. I should be too, at least in the sense of getting to bed. So,
it's about bedtime for me.
Elden Ring tomorrow?
Yeah, sounds
sounds
good to
good.
me.
Very good. Then, good evening, gentlemen. See you tomorrow.
Yeah,
See
have a
you
good
tomorrow.
night, guys.
This was
See you
very
later.
fun. Thank you.
Very good. If you like this, we can occasionally do this from time to time in between other games. Just me going through the library and seeing games I remember and just showing them off. I think this might be
That's-
fun.
I think
Yeah,
that'd be
sounds
really
good.
fun. Yeah.
All right then. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
See
See you
you
later.
next
Good night.
time.